y'all, your girl finally did her hair. It's kind of freezing and stuff, but like, look. So hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm hoping it's short, okay, because your girl be like short and then I be rambling on, but I really just wanted to talk about the hell RuPaul's Drag Race and why I love RuPaul's Drag Race, Pose, and the LGBTQ community so much. So basically, y'all, I'm not gonna sit here and say my political party or nothing, but I like to just let people live their life, okay? If you're not hurting me, if you're not talking about me, you're not trying to hurt me, you're not trying to do no evil against me, live your life. It ain't none of my business, okay? In my opinion, about you or anything else should not be any of your business either. So I just want to say, because of that and because of how I feel, I just let people live their life. You know what I'm saying? I support a lot of movements. It's right, it's right. Okay, some stuff y'all be going a little bit too far with some of these movements. But if it's right, it's right. And I just believe that by supporting LGBTQ community, supporting feminism, supporting Black power, like all of that is right. And so I support it. But basically, so like 7th, 8th grade, I don't remember, but I was about to go through puberty. I remember watching Dance Moms. Me and my sister, that was the shit. We used to watch that whenever it came on. Me, my sister, my mom, period. And on Dance Moms, Laquifa came out. And Abby Lee basically brought Laquifa, the drag queen, to show them some moves and show them how to death drop and all that stuff. And when I saw Laquifa come in, you guys, something in my brain, like, just turned on. Like, a switch, literally, like a whole new world was discovered for me. So she came in, she was dancing, you know, boom, like, and I was like, bitch, what the fuck? So like, and when she came in too, you can tell, I don't know, I just like how they're very extra and they're not afraid to be themselves, right? So when she came in, you can tell her confidence, you see her outfit, you see the hair, you see the yelling and stuff, the extraness. And y'all, I can be pretty extra, so I just gravitated towards it. So I was like, Laquifa, whatever. Okay, so I was like, okay, like, I can get down with the get down, right? So then somehow I found RuPaul's Drag Race. I think it was because of Laquifa, or, you know, sometimes the universe and God works in mysterious ways, so they really just dropped that onto me. And I remember when I would come home, y'all, I would just binge watch RuPaul's Drag Race, okay? And it wasn't so much that it was a competition show or like a drag race show. Me watching that, it was like, because when I was younger, I didn't really have a lot of self-confidence, self-esteem. I cared a lot about what other people said about me. But when I watched RuPaul's Drag Race and I heard their stories, like a lot of queens on there have HIV, AIDS. A lot of queens on there have been harassed violently. A lot of queens on there have lost friends, have lost family, not in a violence way, but you know, they lost their family too because they weren't accepted. They lost friends who were killed. And seeing them, seeing their story and seeing how they just still kept going and kept fighting and they were so confident in themselves, that gave me, like, I don't know, like, it just empowered me to a boundary, I guess, whatever. It really just empowered me. And like, I remember watching them, and a lot of queens, they talk about how their families did not accept them. Now, this is my opinion, but if you're gonna have kids, you need to accept and support your kids no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know that there's like this whole non-binary thing going on. Me personally, I believe in genders, okay? But if my child wants to be non-binary and at a certain age they're like, Mom, I'm not that anymore, I'm this, then I'm gonna just have to support them, accept them, and love them, okay? That's why you bring kids into the world. You don't just bring kids into the world because it's a game. You bring kids into the world to follow God and also to love them and support them and love them. So accept your kids, okay? And if you're not gonna do that, if you're sitting there telling yourself, I can't have a son who's this, I can't have a daughter who's this, da da da, then just don't have kids, period. Okay? Because kids surprise you. They surprise you. Okay? So yeah, a lot of queens, their families were not accepting them. And then one thing that really stuck in my mind, and this is with Pose too, the whole house situation is essentially them picking their own families. And that was just so beautiful to me, because a lot of times you're gonna meet a lot of people, and some people you're gonna like and some people you're not, okay? But when you have been, you know, kicked out, not accepted by your family, and you get to go out and pick a whole new family for yourself who loves you and who doesn't judge you, and you know that that's your family and no one could tell you otherwise, that was just so beautiful to me. And it was beautiful how they called RuPaul mother, and how they looked to him as a mother, because he was so inspirational. And RuPaul has been working for a very, very long time, okay? They all have, and they just now getting the recognition they deserve. But RuPaul has been working for a very long time to break down barriers and to break down stigmas and stuff like that, you know? But the family situation, it was just very beautiful to me. And that's why I like Pose too. Like, the fact that they get to choose their own families where it's just positivity, love, and happiness, it's beautiful, okay? We should all do that. Like, we all have friends that we consider family and stuff like that. But then that was really an essential thing for them, because a lot of them are not accepted. So that was beautiful to me. And then seeing their confidence, you know, some drag queens was going out and they did not have the best outfit, but they was still hella confident. And I was like, if I could just like take some of their confidence and put it into me, like, you know, like I said, at that time I did not have a lot of confidence, and watching them, it was like, Qamyraaa, you can do anything that you want. Now, of course, life happens, things happen, so I did kind of lose that a little bit. But now watching back, I do still binge it and shit. And watching Pose, I'm speechless. They won Emmys, they making history. We all are making history. I am speechless, okay? Because I was just so excited. Like, that 13-year-old girl in me was just so excited. Like, I wasn't even gonna watch the freaking Emmys because I wanted to watch my Odell play in a football game, but I watched I didn't even care about the football game. Listen, speechless, okay? So seeing them win these awards and seeing them tell their stories, and like Billy said, like, the category is love, it was just like, I stamp, okay? It was just so beautiful, you know? And they're making history, they're getting the recognition they deserve, and they're finally getting treated like people, except for that law, which is crazy to me, because we're such a country built on religion, yet we're not loving each other. But, you know, and that's another thing too. RuPaul's Drag Race was very built on love as well. So RuPaul, you know, he encouraged them to make mistakes. He encouraged them to love. He loved them. He was always giving them advice and stuff. And it was like, dog, I'm gonna meet RuPaul one day. Like, I need to meet this man. He's black, he's beautiful, and he's snatched. Like, his waist snatched. Like, I need to meet this man one day. But yeah, that's essentially why I like them so much, really. It's just the confidence and the extraness too. Y'all already know drag queens don't look like this, okay? They be getting the foundation, they be piling on that makeup, and it's a literal art. Like, when you watch them do their makeup and you're watching them on the show, even when they're sewing and stuff, it's literally art. Like, and art comes in so many different forms, you guys. But being a drag queen is being an artist. Like, it's not just that you're pretending to be a woman, or you're just walking down a runway in some nice dresses and clothes and put on makeup. No, it is art. It is a lifestyle. So when you see them put on the makeup and they're being extra, and the makeup and the clothes allow for them to express themselves. So you see a lot of drag queens have very different, you know, like, all of us girls out here, right? We be worried about the eyebrows on fleek. We be worried about, like, the, what is this called? Come here, what is this called? The eyeliner thingy, cat eyeliner. I don't even know. I don't wear eyeliner, but we worry about the eyelashes, the lip gloss. Drag queens is like F all that. I'm not trying to be like no one else. I'm gonna be myself. And that's why you see all the drag queens just have very different y'all, these people making too much noise, but they all have very different just different ways of expressing themselves, and I stamp it. I love it. I love seeing new drag queens with new things. Like some drag queens, they dry their eyeshadow, you know, all the way up here. Some drag queens go very heavy here, but that's their thing and they own it. And to me, that's just so beautiful. Like, I just like art, and I like seeing different forms of art other than the typical drawing and all that stuff. And it's just beautiful to me. So all that extraness made me feel like it was okay to be extra, because when I was younger, people would tell me like, oh my gosh, you're so extra, you're so dramatic, da 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 da. But when I watched that, it was like, it's okay to be extra, it's okay to be dramatic. Like, express yourself and tell your truth, you know what I'm saying? So that little girl in me watching this show, eating her pizza rolls in the room by herself, like I was just living in my imagination. I always told myself I'm about to be a judge on that show. I'm telling y'all gonna see me on that show, and it's just beautiful. And as far as Pose go, I just want to give huge credit to the producers, the directors, the casting directors, the writers, every single person involved in that show. Because let me tell you something, that show it's not just about voguing and the ball. It's not just about that. It's about educating. I feel like it's such a great show to educate us, because my sister was watching it and she was like, we were just talking yada yada yada, and I was telling her like, you know, when we all be, you know, out here thotting and bopping, like, we all need to get checked, because, you know, you never know what you have. The same way how they needed to get checked and that thing was going around them, you know, nowadays we have things going around between all of y'all too. So don't think that y'all never know the stuff. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I was telling her like, see, and that's why everyone should get tested. It does not matter. You need to get tested, you know, because you just never know. Like, Pray Tell went so long because he was scared and he never knew. So I just tried to tell her that, and she was like, and she told me like, well, HIV is only for gay people. And I was like, girl, this show is taking place in the 80s. That's back then when they thought HIV only affected black gay males. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, so it's not only just showing us, and, you know, it's not only for entertainment purposes, but it's also educating us. Like, my sister didn't know that. Now she knows, you know. A lot of people didn't know about the whole house situation and the balls, and when you're watching it, you're like, okay, now I see where RuPaul gets this from. Now I see like the death jockey and the voguing, and it just gives me so much life. Because when I first watched Pose, I was in a very sad, down state, and I watched it and I was like, this show is so good. I didn't want to watch it just because I feel like there's a lot of like shows like that are very like cliche and just cliche, like, you know, and like stereotypical. But this was just a very good show, and I was watching it and I was like, you know, my dreams started coming back to me. What I wanted to do in life started coming back to me, because I was like, wow, this is really like a new form of RuPaul, and I just loved learning. I love seeing them. And, you know, a lot of us have dreams. Everyone has a dream. Not a lot of us. A lot of us aren't executing on them, but everyone has a dream. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has value. Everyone has worth. Everyone has a purpose. It's just our job to find it. But watching that show and seeing like Damien going for his dreams, Angel's going for her dreams, it just makes you think like, well, damn, I could go for my dreams too, you know? So when I saw like them chasing their dreams, so watching that, it was like, yeah, you know, you really can chase your dreams. And like I said, I just give props to everyone that's involved, because I know a lot of them were like brand new actors and that was like their first project ever. I could tell who, but at the same time, you still can't really tell. Like, I felt like each and every one of them lived that life and they just bought it on camera, you know. But it was beautiful. It was nice to see how what they had to do in order to make money. They had to be on the street. That's all they knew. They had to be selling drugs. They had to be doing that. But then when they went to the balls, they were just accepted. It was their place to be. And it sucks because that's kind of how clubs are now, like the gay clubs. And those people, they get together where they can really just be themselves. And then we don't even let them do that. Like, we out here shooting up their clubs and stuff. Like, I don't understand that. Like I said, if you're not hurting me, live your life. But yeah, it was just nice to see that. And it's nice to see and go back to how everything started. So yeah, that's just really why RuPaul and Pose are the best shows out. Some of the best shows out. That's why I just love the community so much. Just like, what's the word? Okay, I got it. Just like how black and brown people can be very oppressed, immigrants oppressed. That happens with the LGBT community too. They're very oppressed as well. And so it was like, well, we all oppressed. So we all been through stuff. I've been through stuff. You've been through stuff. Everyone around us is going through something. They've been through something and they are constantly learning in life. So by seeing the LGBT community putting that out there the same way how a lot of other movies do as well, they're putting out those hardships and they're letting the world know and they're educating us and they're saying this is what we go through and this is what we continue to go through, the same way how us black people are doing as well. So I was just fully here for it. I fully supported it. But the biggest thing for me was the confidence that they had. That's why I just fell in love with them. I love watching each season. Because, you know, all them girls came in there like, I'm about to snatch the trophy. You know what I'm saying? So they were just so confident. And they went through so much. And they still came out, maybe not on top, but pretty damn close. So it was just seeing that, it was like, Qamyraaa, you can do that too. Like, not necessarily, I don't want to be a drag queen, but it's just like, you can follow your dreams and you can be confident and it's okay to be extra. Because I always thought that I was not a weird kid, but different and like special. Not special ed, but just like, I was just always felt like I was pretty unique and stuff, but I was always afraid to show it unless I was around a couple of people. Because I was afraid to be called this, to be called annoying, to be called extra, to be called dramatic. I always thought that that was bad things. But now, that's just me. Oh well. You know what I'm saying? It's just very important to live in your truth and just be you and be happy and do what you want. So, but when I was younger, I was not like that. And RuPaul just was there for me for that. You see a lot of them also too, like they went to jail. They thought about killing themselves, depression, anxiety, you know, and they just came, like I said, maybe not this on top, but they all rise out of that. So when I was going through my stuff, I used to watch it as well. I used to see their stories and I used to say, Qamyraaa, one day you're going to have a story to tell. And you may not like your life right now, but one day you're going to come out on top too. And I truly believe that. I'm still trying to figure it out how. I don't know. But yeah, so it was just very beautiful and I loved it. But I just wanted to make that video because a lot of times when I'm like supporting them and like I stamp hard, I support them so much because of what they did for me and what they did for me during those times where I was low. And you know, for some people that's music, for some people that's a person, but for me that's RuPaul. Okay, and I remember, quick story. We went to Madame 2 motherfucking songs in New York. I don't know how old I was, but I didn't look like this, so I know that I was like glowing up, I guess. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I remember they had a RuPaul wax figurine, y'all, and my mom was like, hey, that's RuPaul. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, it was so nice to see, because when you're watching that stuff, especially at a young age, you think that other people don't really, you think like you're the only person that knows about it. But wow. But it was nice seeing the wax figures, nice seeing them get the recognition they deserve, because you know that you're not the only person watching it, and you know that, I don't know, it's just a feeling you get. But yeah, that's why I stamped them so hard. And RuPaul, if you're watching this, I'm meeting you one day. I'm meeting the man. I'm gonna touch his head and everything. I might even wear his glasses. Your girl blind, but I'll wear his. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and let me know anything else that you guys want to see. I always say that my DMs are open. They should be open. If you guys are going through anything or you just want to talk about stuff, let me know. And I just hope that you guys are having a great Tuesday. Okay? Don't forget, you are worth something. You are beautiful. And do what makes you happy and do what you want. Okay? Live your life and do your journey. Okay?